Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Join us as we dive into the world of Disastrous Necromancer, where we'll unravel the mysteries of Lin Moyu's quest to become the strongest. From hidden secrets to epic battles, we're here to give you an exclusive look at the story before anyone else. If you're a fan of fantasy, necromancers, or just love a good adventure, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to support the channel, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a chapter. Let's start the journey.
In the previous attack, several celestial venerables were more or less injured. Lin Moyu relied on his talent to transfer all the damage to the Undead Legion. Many of the Undead Legion died, but he himself was not injured. He released the life force of the Undying Law to heal the injuries of the celestial venerables. Yu Chengfeng asked anxiously, "What happened just now?" Lin Moyu had no time to explain and suddenly looked into the distance. "They are coming." Not only did the celestial beast from the other shore attack them just now, but hundreds of starry void beasts also turned around and chased after them. The faces of the celestial venerables changed slightly, and one of them took out a brand new battleship. This battleship was slightly inferior to Yu Chengfeng's, but it was still at the celestial venerable level and not slow. Yu Chengfeng said, "Let's go." Lin Moyu said in a low voice, "Wait for me." As he spoke, he took out the soul shooting bow, and a drop of myriad-colored water flew out and landed on the bow. At the same time, he injected all his soul power into it, condensing it into a purple soul arrow. Lin Moyu did not use his original spell, fearing some adverse reaction. With the presence of the myriad-colored water, it didn't matter whether he used his original spell or not, the difference was negligible. The myriad-colored water amplified his soul power by hundreds of times, making the purple soul arrow incredibly powerful. Lightning appeared on the purple soul arrow, and the space around it shattered and collapsed. Yu Chengfeng and the others were shocked by this scene. Yu Chengfeng felt that this soul arrow was enough to kill him. At the same time, he was shocked by Lin Moyu's extravagance. The myriad-colored water was extremely precious, and the fact that celestial venerables fought to the death for it was proof enough. Materials from the other shore realm, yet Lin Moyu used it just like that. Using the myriad-colored water to amplify his attack was indeed too extravagant. However, he also realized something else, and his heart trembled. "Mr. Lin, you obtained that well." In his shock, the arrow had already flown out. The purple soul arrow, carrying lightning, instantly pierced through space and disappeared without a trace. Lin Moyu didn't even look at the result and turned to board the battleship. "Let's go." This arrow was a gift to the celestial beast from the other shore. In the previous attack, his bone hell was broken. Although they were far apart, the bone hell still left a mark on the opponent. This arrow was aimed at that mark. Lin Moyu didn't know if his attack would be effective, but he had to try. He was not the type to take a beating without fighting back. Sometimes, when he couldn't fight back, he would remember it for later. When he could fight back, he would not hesitate. Just like the ancient Buddha's palm strike, Lin Moyu remembered it well and would visit the Buddha clan sooner or later. The battleship started, and the celestial venerables fully activated the battleship, flying into the distance. In the center of the dark void, in front of the head of the celestial beast, space suddenly shattered, and a purple light flew out, piercing its head. A sharp cry echoed through the starry void, and the beast's huge eyes showed pain, its body trembling uncontrollably. A few moments later, its eyes emitted a fierce light, reflecting Lin Moyu's image. Lin Moyu was shrouded in bloodlight, and the beast emitted a killing intent, seemingly wanting to settle the score with Lin Moyu. At this moment, the person sitting on its head said in a low voice, "Focus on the task." The beast trembled violently and finally calmed down. It did not dare to disobey this person's command. In the gushing grounds, many celestial venerables were injured or killed. The dead celestial venerables disappeared without a trace, leaving no trace in the starry void. They were all retrieved by Lin Moyu and revived in the soul world. Although he could summon them again, Lin Moyu didn't want to send the celestial venerables to their deaths. In the battle, many celestial venerables from various clans were also killed or injured. Originally, there were over 100 celestial venerables, but now there were less than 50 left. More than 20 celestial venerables had died, and more than 30 had left at the beginning of the battle. They had no enmity with Lin Moyu and did not want to offend the human race, so they left early. Suddenly, the remaining celestial venerables disappeared in large numbers, and in the blink of an eye, only a few were still fighting. Soon, these few celestial venerables were also killed and disappeared into the starry void. In the gushing grounds, only a few celestial venerables from the Demon clan, the Golden Eagle clan, and the Buddha clan remained, along with a few scattered individuals. What's going on? Why did they all leave? These puppets can be remotely retrieved? What kind of puppets are these? Not only are they numerous and powerful, but they can also be remotely retrieved. With these puppets, it won't be easy to kill Lin Moyu. The Celestial Venerables whispered among themselves. Although the Demon Clan and the Golden Eagle Clan had been temporary allies, they were now wary of each other, as they had always been at odds and had deep-seated hatred. Of course, their hatred for the human race was even greater, as they were mortal enemies. In the Buddha clan, several Buddhas had grim expressions. In the previous battle, 6 Buddhas had died. Compared to the Golden Eagle and Demon clans, their losses were fewer, but they had only come with 7 people. The Great Golden Buddha was killed by Lin Moyu, and now 2 more had died, a heavy loss. Amitabha, the Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge chanted, "Collect the bodies of the 2 junior brothers and take them back to the Pure Land for burial." He looked around, feeling a sense of unease, as if something bad was about to happen. He noticed the expressions of the other high-ranking Celestial Venerables, who were all frowning, seemingly sensing something was wrong. Celestial Venerables had keen senses and could perceive danger. Especially high-ranking Celestial Venerables, whose souls were stronger and their senses sharper. This sense of unease made the Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge want to leave immediately. But the eruption of the myriad-colored water was not over, and there were still several rounds to come. Leaving now would mean giving up the myriad-colored water. Should they stay or go? After collecting the bodies, the Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge made a decision and said in a low voice, "Let's go." The other Buddhas were stunned. "We're not fighting for the myriad-colored water?" The Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge shook his head, "No." His sense of unease suddenly intensified, and his face changed dramatically, "Run." At this moment, the other high-ranking Celestial Venerables also shouted, "Run." The sense of unease reached its peak, far surpassing the feeling when facing the 10,000 Celestial Venerables. But it was too late. Shadows surrounded them from all directions. One by one, starry void beasts covered the sky, surrounding them completely. The terrifying aura shook the starry void, space constantly twisted, and with the roars of the starry void beasts, space collapsed. Everyone's faces were extremely grim, knowing they were in big trouble. The Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge's face was extremely dark. Lin Moyu knew all along, that's why he left so decisively without looking back. Now he finally understood why Lin Moyu left so decisively. Facing so many Celestial Venerable level starry void beasts, no matter how many puppets he had, it was useless. Among these starry void beasts, there were dozens of high-ranking ones. The Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge chanted again, "Junior brothers, follow me and break through." He took out a string of prayer beads and threw them into the starry void. "I invoke the great sound ancient Buddha." The other high-ranking Celestial Venerables also used their ultimate moves, desperately trying to break through. A more intense battle erupted. The same thing was happening in other gushing grounds. Lin Moyu seemed to smell blood. In the dark void, under the black tide, many gods were about to bleed. Lin Moyu sighed slightly in his heart. Human strength has its limits. Unless he has reached the other side, he might still have a chance to save the gods of the human race in other places. But now he is just a god king, with more heart than strength. Yu Chengfeng came to Lin Moyu's side, his expression also somewhat serious. "Considering the time, those star beasts should have arrived, right?" Lin Moyu said softly, "They should have arrived, wish them good luck." Besides blessings, they could do nothing. In other eruption sites, there were many gods of the human race, including Yu Chengfeng's friends. Yu Chengfeng's mood was even lower than Lin Moyu's at this moment. However, as a high-level god, Yu Chengfeng had a firm will and would not wallow in despair. He also knew that he was lucky this time to have encountered Lin Moyu. Otherwise, they too would have been besieged by the star beasts and probably would have died. In the end, it was Lin Moyu who saved them. Yu Chengfeng asked, "Mr. Lin must have gained something, right?" Lin Moyu did not deny, "Yes." Yu Chengfeng showed joy. "Mr. Lin is powerful, contact the ancestor immediately when we go back." The two spoke cryptically, and apart from them, no one else could understand. The rules of the Yu family were strict, and although other gods were curious, they would not inquire. If you don't understand, then cultivate hard, and when you reach a higher realm, you will naturally understand. Madame Yu often told them, if you want to know more, you must reach a higher realm. Otherwise, you will remain deaf and blind for a lifetime. The battleship was flying at the fastest speed in the starry sky, covering a distance of over 100 light-years in just 2 days, and they returned to the territory of the human race. Seeing the star domain teleportation array again and feeling the majestic power of the Emperor's network, Yu Chengfeng immediately took out an array disk and activated it. The array disk guided more power from the Emperor's network, and at the same time, Madame Yu's figure was projected from the jade disk. Madame Yu, through the projection, saw Lin Moyu and Yu Chengfeng and showed a hint of confusion. Lin Xiaoyu, why did you come back so soon? She had experienced the black tide and knew that it should not have ended yet. Now they returned early, something must have happened. Lin Moyu got straight to the point. Greetings, Madame Yu, may I ask if Lord Hao is here? This matter was too big, talking to Madame Yu was not enough, he had to directly find Lord Hao. Madame Yu seemed to sense the seriousness from Lin Moyu's tone and immediately said, I will contact Lord Hao right away, stay here and don't move, Lord Hao will be here shortly. The battleship stopped and remained motionless in the starry sky. This was the territory of the human race, and the star domain teleportation array was not far away, it was very safe here. They waited only a minute, but Lord Hao didn't arrive. Instead, the star beasts that had been chasing them did. For a moment, alarms blared, and lightning flashed and thundered in the sky. Powerful battleships from all directions rushed towards the star beasts to attack. At the same time, many gods flew out from the stars and attacked. The actions of the human race were swift, not giving the star beasts any chance to get close. Yu Chengfeng said, leave this to Mr. Lin, we will go out to kill the enemy. Okay. The 7 gods of the Yu family simultaneously left the battleship, leaving only Lin Moyu inside, unmoving. The star beasts, tainted by the power of darkness, had long lost their sanity. Their orders were to destroy this battleship and kill everyone inside. They didn't care if they intruded into the territory of the human race. The human battleship simultaneously launched attacks, lightning-fast strikes causing the star beasts to scream in pain. The defending forces here numbered over 1 million, with over 100 god-level battleships. These were not the small god-level ships used for travel, but giant battleships with real god-level combat power. Each battleship, fully armed, could match a god. Moreover, there were over 100 gods here, with more than 10 high-level gods. Dealing with these star beasts was no problem. The battle was fierce, and Lin Moyu waited quietly inside the battleship. In the projection of the array, Madame Yu appeared again. Lin Xiaoyu, Lord Hao is on his way, he should arrive soon. What exactly happened this time? Lin Moyu said, I'll explain when the saint arrives. This time, our human race might lose some gods. For any race, gods were precious. Occasionally losing 1 or 2 was not a big problem. For a powerful race like the human race, even losing a dozen gods wouldn't be devastating. But Lin Moyu said they might lose some gods, indicating a significant number. Madame Yu said gravely, it seems very serious. Is there a mutation in the dark void? Yes, a mutation indeed occurred, and it could be considered a premeditated one. Do you know about the dark blood realm? Madame Yu trembled, her previously calm face suddenly lost its color. Sure enough, you know. From Madame Yu's reaction, Lin Moyu guessed that she indeed knew about the dark blood realm. How much she knew was unclear. She probably didn't know as much as Lord Hao, who had said that some things could only be accessed upon reaching the level of a saint. So he directly sought Lord Hao this time. Madame Yu's expression became extremely serious, it seems. This matter is indeed significant. Explain in detail when the saint arrives. In the starry sky, the battle continued. The number of star beasts was considerable, but the human race was equally powerful. Gradually, the tide of battle was shifting towards the human race, and victory was only a matter of time. 5 minutes later, space outside the battleship twisted, and a figure appeared out of thin air. Lord Hao had arrived, but it was not his main body, just an avatar. His main body was still in the Divine City and couldn't arrive so quickly. Lord Hao had avatars in various star domains of the human race. Unless it was a matter of utmost importance, the avatars were sufficient to handle the situation. Lin Moyu greeted Lord Hao, greetings, Lord Hao. Lord Hao nodded, speak, what happened? Lin Moyu said, you should know that the dark power in the dark void actually comes from the dark blood realm, right? Even Madame Yu knew about it, so naturally, Lord Hao did too. Lin Moyu continued, the dark blood realm invaded in ancient times, and there are survivors among them. What? Lord Hao was visibly shocked. On the other end of the array, Madame Yu was once again aghast. Survivors from ancient times, living until now, how powerful must they be? This time, even Lord Hao couldn't remain calm, explain in detail. Lin Moyu quickly recounted what he had seen. After listening, Lord Hao didn't respond immediately but said, I will deal with those creatures outside first. Saying this, he flashed into the battlefield. A vast power swept out, and Lin Moyu sensed the force of rules, faintly seeing an ancient rune. One by one, the star beasts exploded and died. The saint's action, even if it was just an avatar, effortlessly resolved the battle. Lin Moyu witnessed the vast gap between a god and a being from the other shore. It was terrifyingly immense. Lord Hao returned to the battleship. Follow me. Saint Hao was flying rapidly through the starry sky with Lin Moyu. The speed of the saint was incredibly fast, even just a clone's speed was absurdly quick. In almost the blink of an eye, they had traveled over 10 light years, rushing into the dark void. The power of darkness seemed to have no effect on the saint, as he could still see the distant world. Saint Hao asked, "How did you discover him at that time?" Lin Moyu naturally knew who Saint Hao was referring to and immediately took out a drop of myriad-colored water, divide it into 2 and drop it into your eyes. Extravagant. Saint Hao lightly snorted but still took the myriad-colored water, divided it into 2, and dropped it into his left and right eyes. After the myriad-colored water was dropped in, 2 beams of light shot out from Saint Hao's eyes. The beams of light contained myriad colors, breaking through the dark void and reaching infinitely far places. One of the effects of the myriad-colored water is amplification. It can amplify anything. Whether it is laws, rules, soul power, runes, eyesight, or physical strength, it can be amplified. The amplification is very large, often by hundreds or thousands of times. The specific amplification varies from person to person. This is similar to the power of belief, but the power of belief can be infinitely amplified as long as the quantity is sufficient, which is not possible with the myriad-colored water. However, the power of belief can only amplify attack and defense, not eyesight. Overall, each has its advantages and disadvantages and different uses. With the help of the myriad-colored water, Saint Hao finally saw the scene in the center of the dark void. However, at this moment, the center of the dark void had already changed. Saint Hao's expression also became solemn. This guy is devouring blood. Upon hearing this, Lin Moyu took out another drop of myriad-colored water and directly threw it into his eyes. The next second, he also saw it. In the center of the dark void, it was still that giant beast. It remained motionless. From the beginning until now, it had not changed its position. The ancient invader sitting on its head also remained motionless. But the surroundings had changed. They were now enveloped in a blood-red hue. Countless blood was flying from all directions in the void, turning into bloodlines and entering the body of the ancient invader. The ancient invader's body was covered with bloodlines, looking somewhat creepy. Lin Moyu saw that he was absorbing the power within the bloodlines. If I'm not mistaken, he should be injured and is currently healing. Lin Moyu expressed his opinion. Saint Hao responded with a hum and said nothing, still observing. At this moment, Lin Moyu looked at the other gushing grounds and couldn't help but snort. Each gushing ground was filled with a large number of corpses. These were the corpses of saints. The bodies of saints from various races had been smashed into pulp, all their blood drained and absorbed by the ancient invader. However, there were not many human saint corpses among them. If it was just one gushing ground, it wouldn't be strange. But if every gushing ground was like this, then something was wrong. Lin Moyu couldn't help but show a strange expression. Did our saints all escape? What do you think? Suddenly, a voice came, and Lin Moyu turned sharply, seeing a burly man standing only 100 meters away from him. Lin Moyu was shocked. Someone was so close to him, and he didn't even know. This person's strength was terrifying. Saint Hao said in a low voice, "He is Old Sha, one of the human saints." No wonder. Lin Moyu saluted Saint Sha. Junior greets Saint Sha. Saint Sha waved his hand. No need to be so polite, just speak directly in the future. I don't like formalities. I saved most of the saints in the gushing grounds, a few died, they were just unlucky. His voice was loud and heavy, giving an invisible sense of oppression. A saint is indeed a saint, to be able to save everyone from such a distance in such a short time. Lin Moyu sighed in his heart. The power of a saint far exceeded his imagination. Saint Hao said slowly, "This guy controls the shadow rules. In the dark void, his speed is comparable to space rules." Lin Moyu suddenly understood. It was the shadow rules. The shadow rules originated from the shadow laws, which the shadow race excelled at. The shadow race could hide in the darkness, becoming assassins feared by all races, thanks to the shadow laws. Unexpectedly, there was also a human who mastered the shadow laws, and had reached the level of a saint, elevating the laws to rules. The dark void was filled with darkness and shadow rules. It was indeed Saint Sha's paradise. Saint Sha grinned, showing his white teeth, looking somewhat creepy in the darkness. You kid or something, killing the great golden Buddha before, almost killing the diamond Buddha, very impressive. When snatching the myriad-colored water, you killed the demon race and shadow demon saints without hesitation, very decisive, I like it. But relying on puppets isn't a long-term solution, your own strength is also important, you can't always rely on puppets. Saint Sha kept talking, first praising Lin Moyu without reservation, then pointing out his shortcomings. Lin Moyu found this straightforward personality quite likable. Just as Lin Moyu was about to explain, another voice came from the darkness. The skeletons are not Lin's puppets, they are his summoning spells. This time, Saint Sha was shocked, his eyes widened, mouth agape, but it didn't seem exaggerated at all. Lin Moyu didn't look at Saint Sha, but at the dark void. There, another Saint Hao was coming, along with a person glowing with golden light, like a shining star. The two Saint Haos merged into one. The main body of Saint Hao had arrived, and the clone naturally merged with the main body. Now, Saint Hao was a true saint, able to fully exert the power of a saint. Saint Hao introduced to Lin Moyu, "This is Saint Tian, also the Lord of the Divine City." The name of the Lord of the Divine City was something Lin Moyu had heard countless times. He was the most revered figure among countless humans. Almost no human didn't know of the Lord of the Divine City, and everyone's dream was to enter the Divine City. If asked who they most wanted to meet after entering the Divine City, 9 out of 10 would answer the Lord of the Divine City. The Lord of the Divine City represented the highest, strongest, and most mysterious among humans. Lin Moyu, not being from the great world, was not as influenced by it, so he didn't show much emotion. If it were anyone from the great world, even a saint, they would be extremely excited at this moment. Lin Moyu saluted Saint Tian. Junior greets Saint Tian. Before Saint Tian could speak, Saint Sha had already said, "There you go again, why be so polite with this big light bulb?" Saint Tian looked at Saint Sha with a half smile. "Old Sha, are you itching for a fight?" Saint Sha laughed. "What, want to hit me? Don't forget where we are, I'm not afraid of you here." Saint Tian chuckled and said nothing. Lin Moyu could clearly feel that Saint Sha's words were somewhat lacking in confidence. Obviously, this guy couldn't beat Saint Tian. There are differences even among saints. Saint Hao finally withdrew his gaze. That guy should be seriously injured, his strength is less than 1/10, now is the best time to catch him. When it came to serious matters, even the killing saint became serious. Lin Moyu said, "He has lived from ancient times to the present, so he must have surpassed the other shore. Even if he is severely injured and his strength is only 1/10, we still need to be careful." The heavenly saint said, "We should prepare the myriad-colored water. As long as we resolve the battle quickly, there shouldn't be any problems." The Hao saint pondered, "If we could wait a few more years until the talisman saint's realm stabilizes and he can create ancient talismans, it would be more secure." The killing saint shook his head slightly. "We can't wait. This time, he has already recovered a bit of his strength by absorbing the blood of the gods. If we wait a few more years and his strength recovers a bit more, it will be difficult for us to deal with him. The guys from the Black Blood Great Realm have many secret techniques. Even if we can't defeat him, if he wants to escape, it will be hard for us to handle him. Here, I can still restrain him. If he leaves the dark void, I'm afraid I won't be able to suppress him. If he goes crazy and breaks into the human territory to devour human blood, it will be a big problem." The killing saint analyzed the situation thoroughly. The Hao saint sighed. "All right then, I have 30 drops of myriad-colored water here. We each get 10 drops. I hope it's enough." The Hao saint took out 3 bottles, each containing 10 drops of myriad-colored water. However, he seemed a bit pained as he did so. Lin Moyu had never seen the Hao saint with such an expression before. The saint had all kinds of treasures, yet he was pained by the myriad-colored water. Every time the black tide appeared, the human race could obtain at least 20 drops of myriad-colored water. Over the years, they should have accumulated quite a bit. It seemed that the myriad-colored water was constantly being consumed, otherwise, the Hao saint wouldn't have shown such an expression. Lin Moyu interjected, 3 saints, I actually have some myriad-colored water." The 3 of them looked at Lin Moyu simultaneously, their eyes widening. Their expressions were all exaggerated, especially the killing saint. The killing saint, with his exaggerated expression, muttered, "You really got this stuff? I thought you just got a bit of myriad-colored water when you went in." The Hao saint's gaze was complicated. "How did you do it? That water dragon is not easy to deal with." Lin Moyu held the ancient well of ancestral water with one hand. "It was all right, I took it down." The heavenly saint looked at Lin Moyu with admiration. "What we couldn't do when we were young, you managed to do. Impressive, really impressive." Lin Moyu pushed the ancient well of ancestral water towards them. "With this, we won't have to worry about running out of myriad-colored water. It can condense 1 drop of myriad-colored water every 10 days. 1 drop every 10 days means more than 30 drops a year." Previously, they had to wait for the black tide, and the income of myriad-colored water was very unstable. Now it had become a stable income. Over time, the difference would be significant. The three saints looked at each other, but none of them took the ancient well of ancestral water. The house saint said, "This well is yours, we can't take it. Just give us some of the myriad-colored water." Lin Moyu could see that the saints really needed the myriad-colored water. But they still didn't want to take his ancient well of ancestral water. This kind of integrity was worthy of their status as saints. Although it was Lin Moyu's first time meeting the killing saint and the heavenly saint, he felt a sense of familiarity. Especially the way they looked at him, like elders looking at a younger generation, reminded him of Bai Yiyuan and others. Back then, Bai Yiyuan and others also treated him with sincerity. When people treat you sincerely, you should also repay them with sincerity. Lin Moyu took out a second ancient well of ancestral water. "Please take this, I have another one." The three of them widened their eyes again, and the killing saint's voice trembled. "What kind of monster are you? Why do you have another one?" Lin Moyu said, "I could have taken a few more, but I didn't have enough time. If I hadn't left then, I might not have been able to leave." The killing saint said, "I was there, how could you not leave?" The house saint and the heavenly saint looked at him like he was an idiot. "You were there, but you didn't say anything, how would others know?" If you had said something earlier, Lin Moyu might have been able to take a few more wells. Then, the human race would have an endless supply of myriad-colored water. Their eyes seemed to say, "It's all your fault, why didn't you speak up earlier?" The killing saint looked aggrieved and regretful. "If I had known, I would have spoken up earlier." The house saint didn't hesitate. "Since that's the case, we won't be polite." He reached out and took the ancient well of ancestral water. Lin Moyu also removed his soul imprint, and the house saint imprinted it with his own soul. During this process, the house saint's body trembled slightly, and his eyes closed tightly. An invisible pressure of the saint spread through the starry sky. It lasted for a full minute before dissipating. The house saint successfully dealt with the myriad-colored water dragon. This ancient well of ancestral water now belonged to the house saint and the human race. Lin Moyu was puzzled. "Saint, the myriad-colored water dragon is not easy to deal with, but it doesn't pose a threat to saints. Why didn't you go for the well?" The killing saint answered quickly, "We wanted to, but beings at the other shore realm can't enter the deep space unless they control the space rules. The deep space can't support the power of saints. If we force our way in, it will cause a space collapse. At that time, even we would be trapped in chaos, with uncertain life and death." The heavenly saint added, "The gods are the limit for entering the deep space, and they also need to master the space laws or use tools that utilize the space laws. But gods find it difficult to deal with the myriad-colored water dragon. We tried when we were young, but we all failed. The best attempt only got us a few dozen drops of myriad-colored water." Lin Moyu recalled his battle with the myriad-colored water dragon and found it to be true. With his soul at the other shore realm and the soul-shooting bow, it was still difficult to fight the myriad-colored water dragon. Ordinary gods would be lucky to survive. If it weren't for the Scourge Scepter, he would have been in big trouble. So obtaining the ancient well of ancestral water was indeed extremely difficult. Over countless years, no one from any race had obtained the ancient well of ancestral water. Lin Moyu thought to himself that the next time the black tide appeared, he could enter the deep space again and take a few more ancient wells of ancestral water. Such good things could never be too many. The house saint took out several jade bottles and operated the ancient well of ancestral water to extract the myriad-colored water. This time, he was not stingy at all, giving 100 drops in each bottle, truly a generous amount. One ancient well contained 10,000 drops of myriad-colored water, enough to last a long time, and it could replenish one drop every 10 days. With enough myriad-colored water, the killing saint was full of momentum. "Let's go, let's fight." The house saint looked at Lin Moyu. "Do you want to come? It might be a bit dangerous when we fight." Lin Moyu thought for a moment. "I also want to see the battle between saints." The heavenly saint chuckled. "No problem, I'll protect you." The killing saint laughed loudly. "Then what are we waiting for? Let's go." He waved his hand, releasing a mass of dark energy that enveloped the four of them, and they instantly disappeared into the darkness. The shadow rules have unimaginable uses in the darkness. Lin Moyu and the others were enveloped by the power of the shadow rules, moving silently and at an astonishing speed. Lin Moyu couldn't understand this way of moving for a moment, only feeling that the whole world had become very close. It felt as if he wasn't moving, but the distant world was actively approaching him. It was like wanting to get something 100 meters away, but instead of moving, the thing in the 100 meters of ground came to him. It wasn't the space rules, but it worked seamlessly in the dark world. The killing saint laughed. "My shadow rules are pretty good, right? Darkness is my domain. Even those Shadow Clan guys have to kneel and call me daddy when they see me." Lin Moyu could only agree, though he didn't really understand. The House Saint said, rules are actually the sublimation of laws. When you reach the high-level God realm, you can feel them from the Lost Star River. Remember, the Lost Star River is very important, and there are no shortcuts. Any shortcut is trading your future. Throughout history, everyone who took shortcuts at the Lost Star River step couldn't reach the other shore. The most recent example is Dongfang Zi from the 4-star domain competition. His path is cut off, and his highest realm in this life will be the 6th level of the God realm, unable to reach the 7th level. Lin Moyu was shocked. Dongfang Zi had cut off his own path, which he hadn't expected. No wonder Elder Lin had such a bad attitude towards him at that time. It seemed Elder Lin had already seen that Dongfang Zi had no future. Dongfang Zi could have become a god, but he forcibly interrupted the baptism of the Lost Star River, keeping himself at the minor god realm. It was like picking up sesame seeds and losing a watermelon, sacrificing the big for the small. Lin Moyu nodded slightly. I won't do such a foolish thing. The Heavenly Saint said slowly, cultivation has always been a step-by-step process. Only by solidifying each step can you go higher and further. Lin Moyu listened to the experiences of the saints and remembered them well. The killing saint's speed was incredibly fast, not slower than the space rules. In just an hour, they had reached the center of the dark void. We're here, the killing saint stopped. We can't get any closer, or it will sense us. At this moment, they were still 1,000,000 kilometers away from the ancient invader. 1,000,000 kilometers was just a step away for the saints. Here, Lin Moyu could already see the ancient invader and the giant beast at its feet. The heavenly saint's body shone with golden light, and a light ball appeared in his hand. The light ball was like a small star, hot and glowing. The light ball gradually dimmed after leaving the heavenly saint, eventually turning into a small golden ball. Take this, it will keep you safe. The heavenly saint was very confident. Lin Moyu took the golden ball. Be careful, seniors. The House Saint responded with a hum, I'll go first. As he spoke, he crushed a drop of myriad-colored water, merging it with his right palm. Lin Moyu saw an ancient symbol appear on his right palm. In the next step, the House Saint took a step forward, appearing in front of the ancient invader as if teleporting. He struck with his palm, and the ancient symbol shone brightly. Lin Moyu felt the entire dark void tremble, and the rules of the vast starry sky changed. With his soul eye, Lin Moyu saw all the law lines in that area break. The area covered by the ancient symbol had become a world of rules. What rules does the House Saint control? Lin Moyu murmured. Although he had been with the House Saint for a long time, he never knew what rules the House Saint controlled. As if hearing Lin Moyu's words, the Heavenly Saint smiled. He controls the virtual realm rules. Virtual realm rules? Lin Moyu's memory churned, and he immediately thought of a type of law. Virtual realm laws. One of the first-tier laws, a rare and peculiar law. There was very little information about the virtual realm laws, and Lin Moyu didn't know the details. But being in the first tier, the virtual realm laws must be strong. The House Saint comprehended the virtual realm laws, and upon reaching the other shore, the virtual realm laws sublimated into virtual realm rules, making him incredibly powerful. The ancient symbol descended mightily, dispersing other laws. The ancient invader didn't move, either stunned or unable to move. However, the giant beast at its feet moved. The beast roared, its massive body trembling, and its eyes shot out 2 red beams directly at the ancient symbol. The ancient symbol shone brightly, confronting the red beams for half a second before shattering them and continuing to descend. The beast's tail suddenly lashed out, sweeping across the starry sky and striking the ancient symbol. Lin Moyu clearly saw dense black energy on its tail. This strike contained extremely powerful dark energy. The ancient symbol and the tail collided, shattering the space on the spot. Space turbulence raged in the starry sky, and the beast's tail shattered, bleeding profusely, revealing bones and flesh. But the ancient symbol also shattered in the collision. The House Saint raised his left palm and struck again. Virtual realm, open. Lin Moyu felt a buzzing in his head, momentarily losing his senses. This state lasted for half a second before he recovered. He then saw the beast's eyes become dull, the red light dimming, as if it had fallen asleep. The Heavenly Saint explained, the House Saint dragged it into the virtual realm. It seems to be here, but it's actually detached from reality. The ancient invader, who had been sitting on the beast, finally moved, slowly opening his blood-red eyes. As he opened his eyes, a strong smell of blood filled the starry sky, and the dark power surged. The sword in his hand flew up on its own, slashing towards the House Saint. A blood-red sword energy cut through the starry sky, shattering the space. From all directions, countless dark forces pressed towards the House Saint. "It's my turn," the heavenly saint snorted, stepping forward and instantly arriving beside the house saint. His whole body shone with golden light, but the light didn't spread out, instead concentrating in front of him. The golden light turned into a large golden shield, blocking the blood-red sword energy. The golden shield and the blood-red sword energy clashed, producing a violent roar. The sound turned into substance, and the sword energy was instantly reflected back. The ancient invader swung his sword again, cancelling out the reflected sword energy. At this moment, a shadow appeared beside him, and a seven-headed spear silently pierced his body. The killing saint moved, manipulating the shadow rules, his actions silent. For assassination, he was even stronger than the Shadow Clan. The seven-headed spear pierced the ancient invader's body but could only go an inch further. The killing saint shouted, and the power of the rules exploded. In the violent explosion, the killing saint retreated, disappearing instantly. A fist-sized hole was blown open at the wound from the seven-headed spear. Blood-red lines emerged, filling the hole instantly, and in the blink of an eye, the hole disappeared, and the wound healed. At this moment, the golden shield pressed down from the sky, shining brightly, illuminating the void. The dark power dissipated under the golden light. The golden shield crushed the space and the dark power, seemingly about to crush the ancient invader as well. Seeing this, Lin Moyu suddenly thought of another law. The Golden Law.